The Game Changers Podcast.
Sanibonani, Dumelang, Absheni, hello, another exciting episode. Welcome to the Game Changers Podcast. I'm your host, Mpotau. Today, Renal Fifi. Yo, it's been a very long time, Renal Fifi. But then, guys, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and anywhere you can follow us, guys. Game Changers Evolution or GC Podcast. Fifi.
Hey, Game Changers, how are you people?
Hey,
So
where
good
have
to
you
see
been?
It's been a while.
Where have you been?
I've been around.
Yeah.
Good life. Hey, re tla lokisa eo afterwards. But anyways, we are joined by our lovely guest.
Again.
Beautiful again.
Again. And I guess you know
Miss Tonia.
I
love your smile.
Hi guys.
Hello.
So guys, as we have promised you that we're going to have episode 2 on the part 2 on the episode that we had last week, Tonia. We believe that the first episode touched so many lives. We've got comments from you guys. Please guys, keep on commenting, following us wherever you meet us. Keep on telling us to push, because we are doing this because we want to push, we want to change lives, we want to change the game. So yeah, Fifi, after a very long time,
This lovely lady.
how are you?
I'm
How are
good.
you today
I'm good.
compared
thank
to
you.
last week?
Today I'm chilled.
You are chilled.
Chilled vibes.
That's nice, man. So since we shot the last episode where we had you, how has it been? Because there was a point where you mentioned that the last week episode was somehow therapeutic to you. So like, how has it been ever since we have shot that episode?
It's still therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now that I've spoken about it,
Yeah, that now that people know about it from you.
I think now things are different. You know, guys, since we shot that episode, I got a few calls from people. I saw you on the podcast. I saw you on that podcast. Now people understand.
Yeah.
You know, now people. Yeah, and I'm telling them, did you subscribe?
So
to
how
the
do you
YouTube
feel?
channel.
Yeah,
So
they
how
have
do you
to.
feel after the?
I feel relieved, honestly,
Experience.
after because that was my first time talking about it. Anyway,
yeah,
no one has
yeah.
ever heard my side of the story. People have heard the other side because people went on radio. I mean, people have heard the other side, but
Yeah.
they didn't know what actually happened from my perspective. So I felt better,
That's so
relieved.
good to hear. That's so good.
As you have said, guys, we are going to unpack, man. We're still going to unpack.
We are unleashing the
We unpacked a little last week. I remember. I think we ended up when we were talking about the court, your first appearance at court.
Okay,
The
yes,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. So tell us about your first appearance at court. How was it?
Okay, so my first appearance at court, I was a mess. I've been crying the whole. Remember, I had to get detained for 48 hours.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was crying the whole time. I was so my emotions were all over the place, and then I get to court on that day. Yeah, I stay the whole day in the holding cells in court.
Yeah.
I stay the whole day there.
Yeah.
And you know, in there, you meet people that are already in prison, that have already been in prison for a while. You know, maybe they're applying for bail, I don't know. But and then they talk, and as they're talking, they're all telling each other their stories.
Yeah.
What are you in for? No, I'm in for. And at that moment, I felt like these people are playing, because they were almost all of them were in for. Others are foreigners, they don't have papers, they're in for that. Others, it's shoplifting,
That's
simple
nothing
things,
compared
easy
to
things.
what you did.
And I'm like, that's nothing compared to mine. And then
Yeah,
I just kept, like, when they asked, I just kept quiet, because I couldn't, like, And
Couldn't
then
relate to what
and then came a policeman from, I don't know, he wanted to ask everyone, what are you in for?
Yeah,
I know why he was asking, but I can't I can't say it here. I can't say it here. Yay. But he asked everyone, what are you in for? What are you? People kept saying and saying and saying. But when he came to me, because I was the last person that just, I was shy. How do you say, you know? But then he kept asking, hey, Batong, how do you see? What are you in for? And then I ended up saying murder, and everyone was like,
such a beautiful lady.
I was like, So, then immediately after I said murder, and everyone was surprised. A lady, I remember very well, like Tandi, she was already at Suncity.
Yeah.
She just came to court, and then she was like, "Wena, sonzo limsadwa ka wena." So that
Now you are scared.
it scared me even more. I wanted to get out of there, and then eventually everyone went. They had their turn. They went up to see the magistrate, and they left, and I was left alone. And unfortunately, the magistrate was like, "It's already late. They're already closing.
We cannot have your session.
We can't see you today. We'll see you tomorrow." Ish. I'm like, ish, okay. But I'm like, okay, at least I'm going back to the police station, then I'll come back tomorrow. But the police are like, no, you're not coming back to the holding cell.
Aibo.
That's just a holding cell to hold you for those few hours. But from here, you're going to jail, to prison. And then I was like, prison. But then I was like, can't I go? They said, no, the only prison we have here is layoff NA. They don't have ladies there, so you have to go to Suncity.
Yeah.
Suncity. I've never heard nice things about that place,
Yeah,
so
they
I
always
was
say bad
terrified. So I was terrified. Suncity. So I cried. I cried a lot, but something funny happened as I was in there, because I had to go back to the cell and wait for the police that was going to transport me. Like, it's a long process, So as I was still waiting there, something very funny happened. So this police guy comes, he's the one that he watches over the people in the cell. And he's holding a loaf of bread. And he's like, Ija, tara brot, Ija. I'm like, no, I can't take it like a sharp. He's like, no, Ija, what's about Suncity? How no, Ja? Otlofitla sabajile. Or, if not, patlonkela dijo tsa hao. Bobo. So he's like, okay, do spend up si kaofela o sa. I was like, okay, I irikis. Ke re jalo mfa broto fela. A go batla broto ka eng? Hey, usbo, so phela ska itibala.
I remember from the police station, since everything was it was not that sour for you, the way they treated you. So you were expecting that from him also.
I get to court and I'm told, little did I know that was the first time I got called Bosha for the whole until Kitamaya Sunset, So he gives me bread to continue with.
Yeah.
So he gives me bread. And then okay, they're gonna take it when I get to, they're gonna take my food. I'm not gonna eat. Now I'm nervous. I'm like, okay, give me bread and then just so I can at least get something, because it was gonna be a long night for me. And then then I had to go.
So when you arrived at Suncity, you didn't eat.
When I got there, so we are in the waiting area. I just get there, so the police just dropped me off and registered me on the system, and then they left. And then I'm standing by the door, and this prison warder from Suncity just all of a sudden says, "Hey, when I footex bosha glomnyag." I was just standing,
Damn.
The reality in this, that's what's
So were you alone at the time when he said that to you?
No, there were other, like when I got there, there was a whole lot of people. Remember, Batuba court, and it's different courts around, I don't know, around Gauteng or around, but it's different people. So go fella Batuba court, we get it's the waiting area. Go fella tlamile how they register you out. So when you come back, they register you back in.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was standing there doing that, and then I saw that lady that said to me, "We're not msadi wa ka wena."
So little kaofela.
Because I was being transported by my police and another orange farm, so they were
Oh,
transporting
okay.
her. So ha kopana le ibla akimon, you know, she's sitting far back, and then she's like, "Hey, hey!" When I look, it's her. She's like, "Hi." I'm like, "Hello." At least there's someone I know. You know, I felt okay, comforted, or at least there's someone I know. At least like
my wife is here.
at least like a familiar face, you know. You
Okay.
need that when you are there in that situation. You need someone that you can recognize to say, okay, this one, at least she will look out for me. Because I was scared, honestly. I thought they were gonna but then yeah, we met people, we registered on the system. If you have money, they take it. And then there's a point where have you ever been arrested?
Yay!
I read to be experienced.
But
To be honest.
the only experience that I know of being arrested was just being arrested because of Otamagabo Jwala strat and then or police station holding cell. That was it.
They hold you for a
My
few hours.
my first arrest. I don't know if you remember. That day when Tutola hosted something at Ausis. You remember that was my first arrest. I was super scared. I've never been that scared. The cell was there was so many things that were happening in the cell. So I was like, just imagine if you are here and these kind of things are happening. What's happening at layoff? What's happening at Kumpen? At other prisons? So Hi. So I've never.
It's a scary feeling.
So when you get to before you go to the cells, there's a room. It's a bathrooms, I think. You have to go there, all of you, stand in a row, get butt naked, all of you, and then do squats. And while you're doing squats, you need to cough, so that whatever you slipped inside there can slip out.
Shut.
Imagine if you're a woman and you're on your periods. You have to do that.
So Velo, what happens when Honosna Iwan Holona on her periods?
I don't know. I think there was, but I don't know. I didn't. I was so scared, I was crying. They even had to swear at me to like futsa gela hola. I was crying the whole time. When I got to Suncity, I was crying the whole time. I was even thinking, I'm not gonna survive this. I'm gonna end my life. I was even planning to end my life. I was thinking of ways to end my life because I wasn't gonna survive that. I thought, because when you get there, it's the trial section, so you don't see the clouds. I'm claustrophobic. Yeah, I'm close.
You can't deal with places which are closed.
Yeah,
You
so
can't deal with that. Yeah.
so imagine not seeing the sun, not seeing anything. Like it's just
A black room,
It's
like.
the roofy. They roofed, and then you can't see outside. You can't get fresh air.
And like how was your first night? Like how was your first night? Going there, going to sleep, knowing that there's someone high. Like how did that make you feel?
Okay, so my first night was after we did that squats. You put on your clothes and then you go and get on a queue to get food. Now the thing with food, if you don't have a plate or a scuttle or a cup, or if you don't have a plate or a bowl, they can't dish you. They can't give you. You can't get food. If maybe
where
they're
do you
having
get it?
pap, you need to have your own plate.
From where?
I don't know. I didn't have it. So luckily for me, they were having bread. So they were having bread. They will give you 4 slices of bread. Like you just hold it like this, and then they have to give you butter and peanut butter. Like buy hotafala with a spoon, and then you must find a way to where to put that thing. So I was like, just put it on the bread, And you remember that juice that we had? I think it's primary school in Karatsukire, but it's orange.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
They
I
give you
get it,
that.
yeah.
Now, if you don't have a cup or a bottle or anything, they will just put it on your hand, and then you don't know what to do
Then
with it.
Oba Mr. Bean now.
They were doing
Oba
that.
as well.
They were doing that. So now, for me, there was me and this other lady. Because you want to have someone with you, know.
Yeah.
So there was me and this other lady, and the boss of that thing, they took our food. They were like, "You come from home, you ate at home,
You don't need
not
this."
forgetting who you come from the police station, not home." So they took our food, and they were like, "You had food at home. You can't eat. You're not gonna eat." So we didn't eat for that night. And then when we get to the cells, they make you hold hands and walk like preschool children. Even the walls are painted. They start crashing, the teddy bears, Mickey Mouses, all of that, And then you hold hands, you go to their cells. When you get there, you stand in a queue. They will divide you the way they divide you. Who's going into this cell, who's going into that one. So remember when I went to Sebokeng, I had like that piece of paper for rights. The one with your rights, and then they wrote murder on it.
Yeah.
When I get into the cell, so in prison, guys, there's ranks. Only executive, what? Like there's a hierarchy where, there's the boss, and then there's the chairperson of what? There's yay. So there's one that welcomes new people there. So they called her, and then she told us the rules. You mustn't do this, you mustn't do that. I don't even remember some of them. I remember one. When the boss takes a shit, you must take a bucket of water after she's done and put it there.
When we saw this Godi Tondi moving and stuff, we thought it was not real.
I also thought it's real.
But Hizo made you realize our prison is hard.
It happens.
Yeah.
And imagine it's not even real prison. It's just trials. It's for people that are going for
Still
trial.
on trial in court,
That are still on trial. But so those were the rules. You need to wash dishes. So I didn't have cigarettes. I don't smoke. To bring cigarettes. A cigarette in prison is money. You need to bring cigarettes. You trade with it. If you're eating, the boss or someone will take your meat if they're eating meat. They were giving us those rules. If the boss says, "Give me your meat," and you don't want with your meat, you must give them cigarettes so they can go and buy meat from someone else, like things like that. And then they gave us beds, So we had to share because there was a lot of us in cells.
Yeah,
and
I was about to ask that.
I was in the same cell with that lady that said I'm gonna be her wife.
Yeah.
But then when we get in the cell, now she's ignoring me. It's like she doesn't know me. Huh? And she's also something there. She has a position.
So were you ready to become her wife?
No. But at least I was like
protection.
But then
protection.
if she protected you, obviously, I think she would do other things.
Yeah.
I think she would do other things.
I don't
So
know.
were you ready for that?
At that moment, at that point, all I wanted was just to feel, because I know no one was gonna do anything to me. She was gonna protect me. I would see what
Because she
happens
would
after
do things
that.
to you.
What happens after she protected me? I didn't know, and I didn't care. Honestly, at that point.
Okay.
Ne? I wanted to say something now. So when I get in the cell, so they take those papers because they smoke weed with them. Because it's that soft white paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took it and they saw murder. And that girl called the other lady from the back and said, "Hey, go to Lete, type ya how, she's in for the same thing. Hosani, there's going to be a match." So I was going to fight with that other one that was in for murder to see who's the better murderer. But so I was so scared,
Sure.
I was so scared. And the thing with us black people, we hate each other.
Yeah.
Because there was also white people there, ne? And all the white people, they had their beds, but and the new the new ones that walked in with us, the white people just called them and said, come. And they got into bed and they slept. How I wished I was white that day.
So much privilege.
No, they just called the ladies and said, come. And then they went to bed. They slept. Whatever happened, they were not part of it because they were sleeping. And then we were told to sleep. So we didn't have a blanket. So we had to ask the boss. It's an old lady. Like Ma'am Hole, about 50 something. She's old.
Been arrested for a very long
Yeah.
time.
No, she's on trial.
Oh, she's on trial.
Oh.
She you had to ask her for everything. They have food. They say food
You're not
again.
risky.
She has all these types of snacks. There's food there, but they said food is not allowed. People have cell phones in there. Like you wonder, how do these people have these things? They let you send a call back to your family member for 20 rand.
Everything is money, eh?
Yeah.
So I went to bed. We went to bed and then we had they gave us one blanket for me and the lady that I came in with, and then we were sharing a bed also, and our bed was next to a window and we couldn't. It was cold. Suncity is cold because like how do I say this? It's you go downhill when you go. Yeah, so it's cold, right? So it's cold. So they gave us one blanket. During the night, one other Magogo felt maybe she's cold. She came and she just give me that blanket. And then now we had to sleep like that. And I'm wearing a short dress. And I just, it was not nice. And then the morning came. I don't know. I just heard a loud bang. So that's how apparently they wake us up. They bang on something and then it makes noise and then you wake up. I just jumped. Our bed was on top. I just jumped and I went to stand by the door. Because I was so ready to get out of that place. I needed to breathe. And then they said, oh, that's a guy. Where do you think you're going? You're not going anywhere. This is your home. You killed someone. And then the other lady said, I didn't kill anyone. I stole cheese at ShopRite and I was arrested. I'm here for over 1 year, The other one came. I didn't do anything. I just fought with my boyfriend. Like, they were all comparing their stories with mine.
Yeah.
And they kept telling me, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Forget about it. And I thought, no, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Game
So
changes. Yeah.
so now you have to go to court.
Yeah.
You have to go to court. What's the process from waking up and how do you prepare going to court and all that?
So because I didn't bring anything. I didn't bring toiletries or anything like that. I just jumped off the bed and went to stand by the door, and everyone got up and everyone, the same basin you wash your dishes is the same one you wash your face.
Yo.
But there's a shower, so I think maybe it's their choice.
Hey.
But the shower is cold water, but people were washing their faces here where they wash their dishes. There was no one showering that morning. I don't know if they showered, but that morning, no one showered. Maybe it's because it was cold. And then as they were busy there, another lady, I don't know her, she just came and said, okay, here's a little bit of toothpaste, just rinse your mouth. She said, you just woke up, just rinse your mouth. I know how it feels, you want to get out of here. I'm like, I'm done with this place. And then eventually they opened for us. We had to hold hands like we always do. And then we went to that place, that entrance that we went to. The first thing I saw when I got there was a window. So I just went straight to that window and just grabbed some air. Yeah. So there's a chair. So I'm sitting on that chair and I'm like, my head is outside the window. And guess what? And another lady came to me and said, hi. Utlele stool mo eba.
Yo.
So I had to get up. So I got up because I was scared, But another lady came to her and said, what are you doing? You don't have a right to do that. I said, hey, Numan, just because you've been here for long, And then she said to me, sit. And now I was scared to sit. And she said, sit. Get up, and then I sat. And then you wait there for your car, your police to come and get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wait.
Now
So with the wait, how was it though? Like, how did you feel?
You see people you see people going in, going out, people in prison, women in prison, guys, yo, those people are talented. They can do hair, they can do nails. You know, I was watching them prepare for court. Their makeup was on fleek. You know, I was like, yo, these people, at least I can do hair. So in my mind, I'm like, at least I'm gonna do their hair just to survive, you know.
Yeah,
And then they
yeah.
will pay me. I don't know, but I was already planning because I was told, I'm not going anywhere. This is going to be home for me. Remember, I was told from back that policeman when he offered me money to say you're gonna
Yeah.
be locked up for a long time, and I'm like, yo, these people are in here for months and years, some of them, and they didn't even kill anyone. Mine is worse, you know. In my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck here. This is my home. I have to adjust. And I would see people, other people are already used to being there. You know, I'm
Yeah.
seeing these people, I'm seeing ladies that are already sentenced. They're the ones cleaning there. They're the ones cooking. You know, they're the ones, they served breakfast. So they served breakfast and it was oats. Remember, I don't have a bowl or anything. I'm so hungry at that time. And I'm
you
thinking,
didn't eat at night. They took your
yo,
food.
and I'm thinking it's oats. I can eat oats, you know. I don't have a bowl, so I can't eat oats. But luckily they gave us fruits. Hey, I had an apple. And then my police people came. So I was the only one from here, from Sharpeville. So they said, Sharpeville, yo. I just stood up. I went straight for the door. So the previous day, my family gave me money, a little bit of money. So I had, you know, you leave it there.
Yeah.
I even forgot to get the money. I just went to the door and they said, hey, so take your money. At least they're honest then at that point. Yeah.
So with everything stuck in your head, knowing that you're going to prison, like, how did that make you feel at your first appearance at court, knowing that, you know what, I'm going to jail, whatever that is happening here, I'm going to jail, with everyone been telling you that?
So I get to. I didn't get your question, excuse. Oh, what was going through my mind?
Like, you have to appear at court, ne? Everyone, no one said to you, no, you're going to get out, like give you like a little bit of hope. Everyone is saying to you, you are going to prison, you are going to prison. Or you are going to serve years. So like, what was going through your mind? How did that make you feel, like appearing?
So in my mind, I'm thinking of my kids, honestly. You know, I'm thinking of my son. I'm like, I didn't get time with him. Now he's gonna have a mother that's in prison. What are those people gonna tell him about me, you know? And then I thought of my daughter. What's gonna happen to her? You know, she's so used to being with me.
Here come the
And,
tears. Can we have...
you know, I was thinking of my kids, honestly.
Yeah. They are, of course.
I was like, but in my mind, I'm like, but I'm not going to survive in jail.
Yeah.
I spent a night and it felt like 10 years, you know. I wasn't gonna even allow myself to spend another night. I was already thinking of ways to end my life. I was already thinking of ways to end my life. I remember I thought I was gonna poison myself. I was gonna get sick, maybe get medication, and then poison, just kill. Like I would at that moment I thought I would rather have my kids know that their mom died than my mom is in
It's
prison.
in prison, yeah.
So then
Yeah.
what gave you strength to keep on holding on, even though you felt those challenges were too heavy for you?
I was alone in court before the magistrate walks in. You're in that dock. I'm in that box. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking. So I closed my eyes and I prayed, and I was like, but I'm here because my daughter screamed that night and saved me.
Yeah.
I can't go back and kill myself, you know, for the mere fact that she saved me. She saved me because she screamed. I was already giving up on life. And she screamed,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, I can't just give up. I can't just give up like that. And then I was like, no, I need to pray. God needs to do something here. A miracle needs to be done. You know.
Your life is hard.
It seems like your faith.
Yeah.
It's the one that was able to pull you out of this.
Yeah.
Cause it's really really heavy to experience something like that.
It was.
And to think back, the people that you're leaving behind, like your children,
Hmm.
for them to know such a thing about their mother, it's quite heavy.
And I remember. So I got bail. In fact, before I got bail, I'm sitting in that dock. Like, guys, when you are in that dock, you feel alone, even though the court is full of people. You feel alone. You feel like, okay, I'm on my own. Because I looked back behind me, and they were my friends, my fake friends. They were sitting there. My family was there. I'm glad for their support, and then there was that mob full of those people that don't really know what happened, but they're just against me because one of them has passed on. So, but I felt so alone. I was like, no, there's no hope for me, you know. So I got bail. I got bail. I got 500 rand bail on that day, and I was told before court that they're gonna charge you about 20,000. I'm like, yo, where am I gonna, in my mind I'm like, where am I gonna get 20,000? But luckily when I got to court, I was even represented by legal aid, and I got 500 rand bail, and then I was able to go home.
Oh, when you get bail, you go home. I don't even
Immediately, you
know.
leave.
I don't even know.
I ran
I
out of
don't
there.
even know.
I ran out of there, yo. Yeah.
The feeling of being relieved, going to see your kids. Ne? I can imagine. Fifi, I can imagine how did that make her feel?
Yo, I
So-
was so happy.
Yeah, ne? So now what's happening? What's happening, like, from you getting a bail, then going forward? You still have to appear in court, or
It's over.
what's happening?
You still have to appear. It's not over. You just, bail is just a way for you to attend from home. Like, you sleep at home.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so you still have to attend. I attended this case for 2 years, 2 whole years. At some point it was struck off the roll, and then it came back on the roll. At some point, investigations, at some point they were done. But we attended the case for 2 years. I remember one time, so I went back to work, ne? After paying bail and everything, I went back to work.
Yeah.
So I just took a few days of sick leave, and then I went back to work. So I remember one time I skipped work, and I was like, let me go and check, because my daughter was there when this whole thing happened. I was like, let me go and check with the school if she has changed behaviors, her marks and things like that. So I went and met with her teacher, and I was like, how's my daughter doing? I just came to check. And she's like, the teacher was more concerned with me. She was like, how are you? Are you fine? I'm like, I'm surprised. Why is this teacher so worried about me? And then she said, my daughter came to school and she was crying. And when the teacher asked her what's wrong, she said, my mom is in jail. Yo, I've never spoken with my daughter about this, so I didn't really think it affected her that much. I'm crying a lot today. Yo.
Lerato always says tears are allowed.
Yeah,
Tears are allowed.
That's how you.
After the whole thing, I didn't speak to my daughter about it, because I didn't know where to start or what to say. How do you ask her that, But her teacher told me, no, she told me you went to jail. I said, did you ask her what happened? She said, yeah. I asked her why her mom went to jail, and she said, she didn't understand. So she thought I killed someone. She said I stabbed and killed someone. So yeah, but then that time I realized my daughter, we need to talk about this. She needs counseling, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
So did she went for counseling
no.
So how is your relationship now with your daughter?
after that?
Yeah, after that. During that trial of the bail, like how was her reaction when he saw you?
My daughter, after that incident, she is so overprotective of me. She is so overprotective. Obviously, I don't have any friends now. I don't go anywhere. I'm always, and she always wants to be with me. You know, she always wants to. The other day, I remember I was in ShopRite with her. They, the people were talking about me. Like I said, people always talk about me. They don't understand, you know. The ladies there at ShopRite were talking about me, and I didn't see that. But my daughter's like, Mama, those two ladies are talking about you, and she already knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, so she's always been so overprotective of me. She doesn't want, if we talk, because we talk, you know, about almost everything. And if I tell her that so and so did this to me, and then she'll be like, Mama sahlala ukopana le mtho, you know, like she doesn't want me to get hurt. And she knows I'm this kind of person. Like I cry easy, I'm soft, and so she always tries to be strong for me.
She knows
you
your
know?
heart.
Yeah, when I tell her about my day, maybe if I had a bad day, she will try to comfort me. And yeah, but we haven't spoken much about this. I'm scared. I don't know how to talk to her about it. So I remember I only asked her at that time after her teacher told me about it. Like,
Yes.
I was like, do you still remember? She was still 7 at that time. I was like, do you remember what happened on that day? And then she was like, yeah, Mama, you and I just woke up and people were ganging up on you and you were down there. And I just stopped her. I said, okay, sharp, 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 you know. But I don't know how to talk to her about it. And regarding therapy,
Counseling, yeah.
I tried doing therapy, ne? But honestly it didn't work for me. I can't say it didn't work for me because I tried, like, and maybe it was just me. I think I need to go back and try it again. But I tried, and the first time I tried, I came to the public clinic, ne?
Yeah.
So I came, so I go in, and you're supposed to see this therapist, ne? You know, you go to that side. And then this lady's on her phone. She's not interested in what I'm like, oh, so is this what therapy is about? Like she's pressing her phone. She's like, King, oh skip ka taba how. And then I'm like, okay, ke tlo bua, ke na le bothata. Like, you don't even know what to say, you know.
Yeah, because she's not paying
'Cause it's not
attention
paying
to
attention
And
to
then
what you're
as
saying,
you're
yeah.
talking, then she calls, hello, Linsit's shower. I'm like, this
Now
woman.
ignore.
And then after that,
Yo.
she's like, boo, lang. You know, I'm like, no, you know, and I just left. Ne? And then I tried again, going to like a private thing, you know, and I went there, and like when you get there, you're expected to tell your story, and then they will say, go home and write write everything on a piece of paper and burn it. I mean, that's what they said to me. And burn it and come back and tell me how you feel after you burned that thing. I'm like, when I get home, I'm like, I'm not doing this. This is not for me, you know. So because I felt it was not for me, I didn't bother with my daughter. Maybe I think now I need to consider therapy for both of us.
Yeah, that's true.
so
Because you need healing.
Yeah.
For both of you.
so you haven't said that the trial took 2 years, right? 2 years. What's happening in your life in that 2 years? Who's supporting you whenever you appear in court? Do you have any support? Where's the boyfriend during during that 2 years?
So, remember I was studying, but I just dropped out of school. I said, I wanted to be a teacher, but I was like, I've been arrested. I'm gonna get a criminal record. Who's gonna let me teach their kids? So I just dropped out of school. Like, I lost hope on life. I don't wanna lie. I was still working because I had to feed myself, but then things changed. I started at work. When they hear about this thing, they will make it a point that I don't work there. And then I get another job. And when they hear about, I don't know how they heard about it, but when they hear about it, then, I don't like, so I just gave up. I'm like, okay. There's nothing I can do. And do you want to ask?
Yeah, I want to ask, how did you feel like with all that? How did you feel with all that rejection, like when you were trying to make a living after this period?
I was like, I thought I deserved it, I thought, maybe this is what I deserve after taking someone's life, even though I didn't mean to. So I felt, it's not a good thing to go through, but because and after that, a lot of doors closed for me. How? I don't know, but I just found a lot of doors closing for me. People kept saying you're lucky, but now I just found myself unlucky in a lot of things, like things changed for me. And I got a lot of threats also. From people that were close to that person. So I just felt like, okay, maybe I deserve it. I stopped trying. At some point, I stopped trying. I stopped working. I stopped applying. I was like, okay, if this is how things are supposed to be, then fine. Maybe this is my punishment because I didn't go to prison. And, I was threatened. I was told, you didn't go to prison, but I'm going to make sure you suffer. And I thought, okay, maybe that woman's words, things are happening for her now.
But you're still ignoring my question. How about the journey? I want the journey of court. The journey.
So I had court every month. I had court every month. I know I'm a certain court. It was part of my life now. And the support, in the beginning, the courtroom is full. When you look back, you have support. But then it kept decreasing. And soon people were not interested anymore. I remember one time when I went, it was the final. I was going to be, it's either I'm going down the stairs or I'm going home. That was the final day of court, the verdict.
Yeah.
And then I remember before I went to court, I went home to my family and I was like, is anyone coming with me to court? And because all my friends had said, I'm busy, I can't come today, all my friends are not coming, my colleagues couldn't come, no one was coming. So I went home and I was like, guys, can you please, I need your support now, today, more than ever. This is the last day. I might get out of there and not come back. And I remember my cousin said, just go to court. This is your court. This is your case. We were not there when you killed that girl. Just go. And my other cousin, her brother, her younger brother, he's a little bit disabled. And he said, I'll go with you. Like, that hurt. I don't know if I'm coming back home and people are telling me, just go, we were not there when you killed her. So I left with my cousin, the other one. So he supported me that day because it was still in the COVID days, so you have to stand in a queue outside at the gate, and those people were there, the person's mother, the
Yeah.
woman's mother, and her friends, and all those people were there, and I'm there alone. And they would make remarks. Where's her friends now? She's all alone and things like that. Excuse me.
No, I'm also an emotional person.
Yeah.
I know it. Yeah. Hey.
So I was alone. I was alone that day. I didn't say goodbye to my child. I didn't say goodbye. Like, I really thought I wasn't coming back. Think. So I really thought I wasn't. I was coming back home. So So yeah. So I went to court, and it was my turn now to testify and things like that. So I testified. Luckily my brother's girlfriend walked in just as the magistrate was about to give her verdict. She was
Yeah.
late, but she came, and she was the
Yes.
only person that came. I was alone in court from morning, from when everything started until when I had to give my testimony, until like I felt like, yo, this is the end for me. I'm gonna go, and no one is gonna know, and no one is gonna care. But my brother's girlfriend came. She's not even related to me by blood, but she came.
To support.
And yeah, then the magistrate was there, and then she gave her verdict, and then I was found innocent.
So
I was found not guilty.
not
That's what it
guilty.
means, not guilty.
So hearing that you're not guilty, magistrate banging her thing, what do you call that? What do you call that? Hammer. That hammer. Not guilty. How did that make you feel? Knowing that you're going back to your kids, you're going back to your maybe normal life, although it won't be a normal life
Yeah, it won't be
because
the same
it won't be the same anymore. But how did that make you feel?
As the magistrate was talking there, I can't hear. In my mind, I'm even bending. I'm not even looking at her. I'm thinking about yo. Honestly speaking, I'm thinking about my kid, ne? But I'm like, my son, he's got a family, a whole family,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my daughter has me. And my family is not gonna care about her the way I care about her, And I'm like, I should have just at least briefed her in the morning. As the magistrate was talking, a lot of things were going on in my mind that my son is gonna know your mom is in prison, your mom is a murderer. My daughter, how is she feeling now? How is she gonna feel if I don't come back? Sorry, and I didn't hear what the magistrate said, and she was busy talking, and then she finished, and then she left, and I'm still standing there. And I'm wondering, why is she leaving now? Because I didn't hear a word. Even when she said not guilty, I
You were
didn't
in
hear
your
anything.
thoughts.
I was in my thoughts. I was even crying. Maybe she thought I was listening, but
You're not
you know,
paying attention.
I was just thinking 15, because someone said to me, no, you're probably gonna get plus or minus 15 years. So I was thinking in my head, 15 years is too long. I was calculating how old my daughter would be when I come back. I was calculating a lot of things. And so the magistrate spoke and left, and I was standing there, but people and then I'm not moving, I'm not doing anything, I'm not celebrating, and then the lawyer that was representing me, she came to me, she said, did you hear what was said? I said, no. She said, you're free to go. I said,
You couldn't even believe it.
She said, you're free to go, you're innocent. I said, innocent? You mean I don't have a criminal record? Like, I'm free? She's like, yes. So I started thinking about, must I dropped out of school because I thought I was gonna have a criminal record. Like, all the things I stopped doing because I thought, I'm gonna have a criminal record, And I'm like, are you sure? She said, yeah, you're free to go. And so the lady that was representing me, the lawyer that was representing me in court, is such a praying woman. She's such a prayer warrior. She called me to the front. So she was charging her phone. So she said, bend down here with me. And then she said a little prayer with me, you know. And then she said to me, you're free to go and make the most of your life, you know. And then she said, people are not going to be happy with you, you know. She said, people are not going to be happy with you. Just ignore that. Live your life. Eba, be discreet, because they're angry. They're going to try and get you, you know. And yeah, she told me which direction to go. Like, so I went home. I was free. When I got to the street, I scream, because I didn't believe it. I was like, are you sure? I get my criminal record. She was like, nah. You know?
Your name was cleared up.
Yeah, she was like, you are free. How it's nix? It was self-defense. I was like, okay. I left the courthouse. I screamed. Yeah.
Fifi, do you have something to say? Hey. Yeah.
This is so emotional. This is so emotional. I think my brain is not even functioning well to the point that there were things I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But as I'm hearing his story, like,
You're just being blank.
yeah, I'm just being blank. I don't know. I'm just like into to hear her out.
Guys, I also want you to ask questions, but I'm not sure if the mics are prepared or no, or not. If they need to be prepared, can you please prepare them? Okay. Anyhow, we're gonna do it. The question that I have for you, what is the most precious thing or things that you feel this whole situation made you lose?
It made me lose myself, honestly, because now this is how I was viewed in the community, as a murderer, as that girl who killed that girl, you know. So I lost myself. I lost the will to live. I didn't want to work anymore. I didn't want to be in public anymore. I'm still picking up the pieces, but I didn't want to be in public anymore. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be in a space that would expose me to people. Like, I lost myself, honestly.
Because now it seems as if people gave you a new identity based
on what
actually
happened.
happened.
Whatever I was known for, whatever
It's
it was now cancelled.
erased.
You know, I have this new image of this murderer.
Nice. Guys, do we have questions? Questions, please.
All right.
Fifi, can you please pass the mic?
Game changers, good morning. It's a beautiful day in Zanzi. For me, for now, I don't have a question, but I just want to make some clarification on something. People would ask, why is she not guilty or something?
Yeah.
But one thing I'd like to make is that there are two types of guilt in the legal fraternity. There's a factual guilt and there's a legal guilt. So the factual guilt is when you did something, we saw you that you did something.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That is a fact. But that does then there's a legal guilt. That means you have been found
Guilty.
by the law,
Yeah.
by the constitution, by the legislation, by the courts of law that you are guilty. So for factual guilt, you can be factually guilty, but legally not guilty.
Okay. Yeah.
You can be factually guilty, but legally not guilty. That means you did the actual fact or the actual doing, but the law or the courts did not find you guilty. You didn't break any law according to the South African law or the constitution. Then there's a legal guilt. that means you might have not done that actual thing, maybe per se, but somewhere, somehow, according to the law, you omitted or you committed something that make you to be guilty of transgressing the laws of the country, either by constitution or you broke any section of of certain legislation that makes you to be guilty. So I don't know if Game Changers finds me. Let me make an example, typical example. You go to the supermarket store, you steal a bribe pack, you remove the branding, you remove the barcode, and you deny that you never stole the bribe pack. Factually, you stole, but because of lack of evidence to show that you stole that bribe pack, you can be found not guilty. So sometimes lack of evidence can acquaint you from being imprisoned or found guilty. Then you can at some point accompany Shege to go and commit heist. They're gonna charge you as a accomplice, but you didn't do the actual heisting. But you accompanied those people. So you are part of those crowd. So you are part of the accomplice. So you can be found legally guilty because it is being stipulated on the legislation or on the constitution that if you transgress or if you act or omit this way, then you'll be found guilty. So that's the clarification I wanted to do. So I'll invite another personnel, maybe Lerato, to also ask her questions and stuff like that. But I just wanted to make a clarification on that.
Thank you, Mabe. Kufundiwe la. Abantu bagelezile la.
Yeah, abantu bagelezile. But also to add on what Prof is saying, ne, about the law being found guilty. Also, we need to. There's a point where you get you bring into consideration the circumstances of the incident. Where now you look at the deceased, ne? In Tonia's case. She left her place of residence and traveled to Tonia, right? She was the one who was committing a crime actually, because she trespassed, she assaulted, right? And then that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to also bring into account. Or like sometimes, guys, when you do something, you must consider the consequences. And can I please add on to that? I agree with what Prof has said and with what you say, Lerato. And I remember at some point in court, they did ask me if I want to plead guilty or not, And I was like, I agree. I admit that I did stab her. But not with the intention to kill her, with the intention to protect myself. But I plead not guilty. I admit that I stabbed her, but I'm not guilty for murdering her because it was not intentional. I was just protecting myself.
That's what I think it was. So my question is, I've got 4 questions. Is it okay?
We will decide.
Okay, it's fine. All right.
We will decide.
I'm not gonna make conversations out of them, ne? So now my first question is, how are you picking up the pieces? Like, how are you integrating back into your life post the trial and the incident?
So I'm still, honestly, it's not easy. I'm still trying to pick up the pieces because I had to remove myself from the community, because of the threats and everything that was happening. Those people coming to me, trying to do things to me. So I had to leave, So I left for a little bit, and I moved to another province. Imagine just leaving home, leaving your kids, leaving everything, and moving just so other people can have peace. So I left, but then I was like, no, I can't. I can't do that. Let me go back to home. Let me go back home. Let me go back to my life. Let me go and pick up the pieces. I have applied to study again, and I'm
shy. That's good.
I'm not working at the moment, but I'm working on that because I didn't want to be in public anymore. I'm working on that now. I can walk. I like taking walks now. Which is something after this case I couldn't do. I didn't want to be in public. I would always lock myself in, because every time I walk, maybe a big street, people always have an opinion about me. And sometimes you're passing and then you turn. These people are busy talking about. So I'm still picking up the pieces, honestly. I'm taking it one day at a time, and I think I need therapy now, but yeah, I'll work on that.
Yeah, you can ask another
on
question.
that, yeah, I do think it's not easy, but worth doing. It's worth doing. So, how did the incident change how you view yourself? Like, did the incident ever change how you thought of yourself? Because you've always been this one person who's laughing, a great sense of humor, and you were confident. Now I know you from high school as a very confident girl. So like, if at all the incident, did it ever change how you view yourself?
It did.
How?
It did. The confidence is not there anymore, I promise you. I'm always doubting myself. I doubt what people think of me. I cannot. It's so hard for me to open myself up to having a friend. I can't. I don't trust people, and yeah, I'm always worried about what is this person thinking about me, and that's not right.
It's not.
I need to stop
It's
that.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should definitely try, because you cannot control what people think.
Yeah.
Not at all. Can I ask?
Ask.
Thank you.
Or
Thank
act.
you. Thank you. So then my next question would be, what did you learn about yourself throughout the whole ordeal? I mean, from the argument in the car with your then boyfriend. Is he still a boyfriend?
I haven't seen him since his day in court. I haven't seen him, Sham. I wouldn't
But is
date.
he still your boyfriend?
He wouldn't be.
I need to
no.
make
Did you
sure.
dump him?
No, that incident happened.
No, but I mean, like, if he comes back and he's like, Mateboho.
I saw him, I saw him as the case was still going on. I saw him, but he was still a witness in my case, so I couldn't talk to him. But he stopped. He was driving a police van, and he stopped and he called me like this. He said, and I just ignored him. I didn't even, And that was the last. That was not the last time. The last time I saw him was when he testified in court. That was the last time. I don't even know if he's still. Remember, I had to also relocate, so I don't know.
But why are you not giving me a yes or no?
He's not my boyfriend. He's not.
So are you single? So what did you learn then from this whole ordeal about yourself? What did you learn from the fight in the car with your boyfriend until today? Like, what did you learn about yourself, about you specifically?
About me.
Yeah, what did you learn about yourself?
Can I come back to that one?
It's okay.
Can I
It's
just
okay.
think about
It's
it?
okay. Because I'm asking this because in my eyes, you've become wiser. You've learned. You've got a different view of the world and how things work, and I think you're a good mother.
Yeah.
I think you're a good mother because, like,
Oh.
in
no.
this whole
Aw.
thing, like the whole time, your kids are a priority. Like the whole time,
Yeah,
even
that's true.
the boyfriend coming to check up on you, thinking about your child. This is her home. Even when you are being attacked inside of your room, you're not screaming because you don't want to wake your child up. And even fighting back, you fighting back because your child was seeing you. You understand? Like, even your decision to like stop thinking about killing yourself because what are my children
Yeah.
gonna? You
Yeah.
understand? So yeah, you're good mother. And also then, hey, my final question is, what do you have to say to the women who find themselves in your shoes?
we will go on
We
that
will
one.
go-
Yeah,
we'll
we will
get
go
it.
on
Okay,
that one.
then
We will go on
that's
that one.
it then
Okay.
for me.
We will go on that one. And I just want the about conclusion. About the conclusion. Kwa.
Bonjour Mateboho.
Hello.
Sharp.
Shake out clearly prepared. Shake is prepared, guys. On the
He wrote
notepad.
them
Yeah, the
down.
question. Notepad.
No. Lerato di qetile. Ne ke na le question tse 7.
Okay, she asked for.
So o subtractile ke setse ka tse 3. Wa nthola. So ke batla tseba, you said your family never supported you ka last day. Ne?
Yeah.
On the last day,
On
but
the last
throughout
day.
they were
Yeah,
there.
they were
but,
supporting
yeah.
you, yeah. So how was their reaction when you stepped go through? How feel?
My grandmother was still alive at that time, ne? But she was sick, she couldn't attend court cases and things like that. But when I got home and I went straight to her and I said, because I couldn't go to all the others, I didn't get support from them. So I went to my grandmother and I was like, give me a case, And you know what she said to me? She said, I knew you were going to win this case. You've always been a prayer warrior. I've never, out of all my kids, you are the one that I knows God, you know.
Yeah.
So she said, I knew that God would fight this battle for you. And with the rest of my family members, I don't know. But they've never really showed any support or anything like that. I remember one time I was having, as most of us at home we are girls, and we were having like a disagreement with my cousin, and that was like my closest cousin, eh? And so we're having a disagreement, and all of a sudden she said, "Mulai towe."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ne.
And I knew then that these people, that's how they'll always see me. This is how I will always be to them. I remember also with my friends, the reason I actually stopped having friends, and I was like, okay, the ones that were supporting me, the ones that I thought they know me, they know what I've been through, they know this case, but on a normal day and you want to reprimand someone, maybe you're doing something wrong, ne? And I want to reprimand you to say "Sketsa jwalo," and all of a sudden they're all around me and they're trying to stop me, thinking maybe I'm gonna hurt you, or like, I thought if this is how they see me, then they don't know me. If you're my real friend, then you don't, at the first sign of saying to you, I don't like what you said, then it means I'm gonna kill you. So that's when I stopped having friends. I just get to like the WhatsApp. I just left. I just stopped everything. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be alone from now on.
So now coming back to society.
Yeah.
Your relationship status.
Hey, shake it. Hello,
You
what
just
are
had to
you
ask
doing?
that chicken.
Hey, shake it.
Question.
So at the moment, I'm not seeing anyone.
So ke leading o utlwa ene le question.
I'm not looking.
Yeah. So no jena o ipona paula jwane. Strateng so majida approach ya bona jwa ichinchile o wena a se batla cause ke a tseba since we le they say agere ha sana ntho no free ona meda ona e want so majida obviously bena ba tseba ka siso ne Tonia o qeshitse motho
English ya hana today mfana.
a bua mthome o English sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so ke batla nkutlwe hantle I express.
Okay.
Hey, so okay, to accommodate batho ba bang. So relationship ya majita chinchile. Approach ya bona when they approach you e ba jwa.
Majita know, they're like, when they approach me, they know, most people know about this thing, ne? So they will come to me and they show interest in me, and then they're like, they will ask me about that indirectly, and I'll be like, yes, and things like that, and then they show support. Hore, Seamus Kisi, what they did was wrong. But I just know that little support that they're showing is not because they want to show support. It's because they just want to get what they want. So I don't really
Which is-
entertain.
Sometimes I wanna conclusion when maybe there was a soulmate along Majida.
At the moment, I'm not looking for anyone. I'm not even. I don't know. It will take a miracle for now. It will take a miracle for now to open myself up to. Because honestly, Shege, dating now for now, it's going to be toxic. I can trust. Every time you go black, I'm going to think you with someone else. You know, every time your phone rings and I'm going to think, oh, okay, I cannot trust. No. So it's going to take a miracle for now.
So full.
So full hand.
Shege o tla bolla gore camera e battery flat. Pass the mic. Old.
Evan. Yeah, I won't ask much because I had so many technical questions, but I would be light in just reflecting upon Toto Sodubile. So looking back into how you have described your friends during the incident and during your time when you were sent to custody at the police station, how you said your friends were saying kuona kiana blaming someone, and talking now and saying, looking into what you have said or at the court of the law, and also after you have been acquainted from the case, after being found not guilty, on how was the reception. So I would ask, how would you define what is, because you're saying you are no longer having friends. So according to you, what is friend? What is a friend? And what characteristics that are or traits that are held by something that you call a friend? What is a friend?
Yeah, they put it.
No, it's one question. It's just very well.
Yeah.
Looking on those services that have happened, the question is, in your accordance, what is a friend?
So a friend is someone that knows you, that knows the real you. Even Laren Kafika Karabatu and I pretend to be someone else. A friend is that person that knows this is not you now, you know. A friend is someone that knows Hore sharp, how you saw, and then how you saw how sharp, you know, and it's someone that cares about you to an extent that they'll protect and they defend you even when you're not there. For me, that's the definition of a friend.
All right. Moving to the second question would be, based on the experience that you have held, and maybe from other departments you have also held, maybe you have similar sentiments from the back of your head. How would you rate the quality performance of our public servants? You spoke about psychologists. You spoke about the police.
Good question.
The police. You spoke about how people were. Other public servants have held you in the prison wardens and stuff like that. So, how would you rate the quality performance of our public servants?
I feel like some people are honestly working hard and doing their job, ne? But there's also those people that are just doing it for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Like the policeman that I mentioned that gave me 10 rand. I mean, he's not even allowed to do that, you know. His job doesn't even allow him. I can't be walking. He can't be giving money and saying, Zamoya Shopong. It's not allowed. And if I had reported him, I think he would have lost his job, you know. So I think there's those few that are just doing it for the paycheck. Like that lady that said to me, Futa Gwenas Bosha. You know that lady?
Yeah.
I don't know why she said that. She could have just said, it's my first time in prison. She could have just said, and just move, you know. But she chose, maybe that's how they speak to, I don't know. But I feel like some people are doing it from the bottom of their hearts. Like, for them is it's a passion, but just other people are just doing it to get paid.
New guy.
Eh, Papa, we.
Asizwe baba.
Yeah, I get over that person. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's my job to motivate. Yeah, you've been through a lot, and listening to you, the interview, it's touching, and it's so bad how the world portray other people regarding the situations they were kopanang le tsona. I'll say big up, and I don't know. I want to pose question. I said I want to ask question. So after this first interview, how was the community? People, what did they say?
So the episode aired on Wednesday. I haven't gone anywhere.
She's always indoors.
This whole incident turned me from extrovert to an introvert. Like, if I have to go somewhere, I have to think of the people that are gonna look at me, point me funny, talk about me. I'm like, I can't go through all of that, so I'll just stay. If I need to go somewhere, I'll send my daughter. So I haven't been anywhere since the episode aired. I got phone calls. I got 2 phone calls. Even yesterday, I got an old friend called me and said, go bana the podcast thing. I'm like, yeah, someone subscribe more, like, can view and watch and everything. She's like, ke story surfing, son, is how, she just said, ke story surfing, son. So I was like, yeah, it's a ma and everything. So I haven't been anywhere. I don't really know.
Okay. Okay. The reason why I'm asking, she want to work with us, and I'm concerned that you are ready. The reason why I asked the question that I didn't want to ask is that are you able to face the world? Because the sad thing is that people will look at you the same until they are satisfied. Not you satisfied. People will still judge you. That family will still haunt you because of I don't think they are happy even where they are. The thing about the world always wants to blame. That's the thing about the world. So, but then you have done good for yourself, and it's a good experience, and you need to apply your mind that when are you gonna be ready to face the world? You need to face the world. It's part of that of challenges that we made. We have seen people who we grew close to them. They are there. The world always give a second chance, and it start with you. And you are very strong, and you are. I've seen that interview, not the whole of it, only a few clips. I'm gonna sit down today to watch the first one. I didn't have a time. I have seen your courage, and I always know you for that. You are very a strong person. So you are kicking me out. So I will say big up, man, and have a faith in yourself, and most especially I've heard that your daughter is supporting you. That's good. That's a friend you're looking for. You will never get any friend anywhere. Will pretend. Will definitely pretend, but then again will judge you. She won't. She will put herself in your shoes. So yeah, I think that is
Thank you. There's no other question. Okay. Larato's question. What was your question? The last one. The last question. To the women that find themselves in your shoes, right? What do you have to say to them?
I always say to people, and I'm talking from experience, I always say to people, avoid certain situations, Sometimes mutanka uthula, I always say no, just say no, it's fine. Avoid, because a simple slap can get you into prison, you know. A simple orayemotu or a push can get you anything. You never know what's gonna happen and when it's gonna happen. So my advice to people out there is avoid. If you see a red flag in J, just
to avoid
run.
it.
run, you know. So yeah, I think ibasla avoid a lot of things.
Yeah. Fifi, in closing,
In
what
closing,
could you say to either to the game changers or to Tonia?
I think I'll say to both, to Tonia in the game
Yeah.
changers.
Yeah.
But I will like to start with Tonia. Tonia, I would say also I'm going to encourage motivating. I'm joking, but let me just say what is in my heart. Tonia, you are an amazing woman. You are an amazing woman.
Thank you.
You have to remind yourself that you are an amazing mother. You are strong. I don't know you personally, but just listening to your story, I see that with you. You are kind. So I would like to say to you, go back to that place where you used to love yourself, just the way you were. Go back to that place, love yourself, bring it back in you. You have it in you, it's still there. Your daughter is there she's there to carry you. She's there to support you. She's there giving you courage. So do it for her, do it for you. You will get back to your feet.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now you want to make me cry.
And to the game changers, you know, life, it has its own challenges. We all go through a different journey, and our journeys are different. But we should never judge other people because of their experience, saying whatever that you did is much bigger, it's much worse than what I would do, you know. There is a reason why this had to happen. This is her journey, this is her story. It had to go that way. God knew that he was gonna go through that. So with our lives, we have our own challenges and we have our own journeys.
Yeah.
So who are we to judge her when she was there to protect herself and protect her daughter? Who are we to judge her? But at the end of the day, God knows what he was doing. And he's with her. She's holding her up.
Yeah. I'm not.
It is what it is.
I won't say much. I won't say much to you because there's nothing that I'm going to say that I haven't said to you. Just don't let this define you. That's the only thing that I can tell you.
Yes.
Don't let this
Yes.
define you. To the game changers, guys. Whatever career that you're going to take, be prepared. Be prepared to help people. Be prepared, especially when you want to be a public servant. Try by all means to keep your word of serving the people. Try by all means honoring your job and doing everything accordingly. I won't say much, guys. This has been an amazing episode. Thank you for having you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having you.
Thank you for having me.
In closing, what can you say
closing-
to the game changers?
So in closing, I left the Val, ne? And while I was in another province, I was like, no, but I need to go back and reclaim my life. So this is me back and reclaiming my life. From now on, there's no stopping me. Yeah.
That's all we had for you guys. From me, Mpotau, the Bringing My Life Tonia Mokheseng.
And to me, Refilwe Mufuke.
We are out. Tango.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Game Changers Podcast.